Albanese isn't due to make an announcement that there is no Royal Commission until tomorrow, but the media step in and label it before he even says it. So it's already done and dusted even before the date that he mentions it, and that is that it's a cop-out. He's there just protecting his premier, so we all just, just crooked politicians, look, and then we just forget about it. Sherry Markson did her bit on Sky News, here's the Telegraph. Now, if you apply reason, proportionality and rationality to Royal Commissions, well, these are the current Royal Commissions. These are the final two Royal Commissions ever to be conducted in Australia. Because if the bar for a Royal Commission to occur is that we've at least lost 400 billion. That's what Josh Frydenberg signed off on extra borrowings in the Inscribed Stock Act 1911 from start to finish with the COVID emergency. It was over 400 billion, probably $500 billion. And as Malcolm Roberts mentioned, I showed in my last video, 40,000 excess deaths. So unless 41,000 people die and $600 billion is lost, well, that's your bench. Okay, now we'll have a Royal Commission. So that's it. All the pomp and ceremony of a Royal Commission, well, they're done and dusted. Well, what they normally do is they ordinarily rig the terms of reference. That's how they get around having the appearance of a Royal Commission, but not actually having one. And this Banking Royal Commission, what it's called for short, what they ended up doing was the banks got the terms of reference set, they turned it around, and the focus was on the brokers, not on them. They eventually got off scot-free. The COVID intervention, they call it a response, I call it an intervention, is so massively corrupt in all aspects. There's no wriggle room even for a sham Royal Commission. You can't compartmentalise off and just find a couple of pieces of it that they could get away with having a Royal Commission. Oh, look, they shouldn't have done this or whatever. Any aspect of COVID, you'd have to ask, what did Aspen Medical get over $1 billion for personal protective equipment? Remember the video that I did a little while ago where 300 million or something, it all was wasted because it all expired? You had that hospital in Canberra that wasn't used. That's just one aspect of it. There's nowhere you can look in COVID where it's a safe haven for a sham COVID Royal Commission to make it just look like we're doing something about it. It's ruled out. That's why. This is those two Royal Commissions I showed, they're the last. That's it. It's over.
He refused to release the minutes of the National Cabinet meetings that he had with the premiers, despite saying that he would. We are still waiting for the Prime Minister to release the minutes of those meetings.
What I think Reddick doesn't realise, maybe he does, he just make it out like he does it. To watch my last video, nothing would have been tabled. There's no documents. They might have spoken about things. I'm sure there's some minutes of some words being spoken, like Kerry Chant. I'm just go by my reputation that 75,000 people are going to be in ICU. That's what she said. It's like when you put in an FOI and all you do is get a sheet of paper with the date, the title, and everything else is redacted. You're not even getting that. And if you go, look, no, you're not getting this. There's no evidence. There's no documentary evidence of SARS-CoV-2 or COVID. There just is none. There's a lot of us talking about it, but there's no actual proof that it ever existed. So that's what Gerard Reddick will find out. They release the minutes of the National Cabinet meeting. So their minutes are secret. And also the vaccine contracts, you're not allowed to see them. They're commercial in confidence. And the $18 billion, they said they spent, it could have been more, but that's what they've published as. And it did come out of the health budget. You look at their appropriations, $18 billion did not come out of the health budget. So where did the money even come from? Can we at least see that? How did they screw us? Actually, a Royal Commission into all of COVID, it'd go for a decade, maybe even longer. Like, you can have a Royal Commission just into Aspen Medical's contracts. Here we go, 63 million for advice. This is Management Advisory Service, Administrative Services for COVID-19 vaccines. Not the vaccines themselves. What are they telling them? What did Pfizer and the TGA didn't know about it? They need to go to Aspen Medical. Here's another just cool 121 million. This is for clinics infection control. Were they cleaning them or something? Which clinics? They couldn't keep themselves, couldn't control the infection themselves. They had to call these guys in. All right, you want to get nuts with this Aspen Medical? All right, let's get nuts. Almost $1 billion for just one 6-month contract for medical supplies. And it doesn't include the temporary hospital that they built in Canberra, by the way. You know, it really begs the question, how did like a company that would be a certain size, normally getting contracts in the maybe million, couple of 100,000 a year, maybe a couple of million, how did they ramp their operations up so quickly to build hospitals that were used and handle almost $1 billion contracts for medical supplies? Like, where would they have the employees? And what did they know in advance? So this is just one. This is a deep dive, this Aspen Medical, because there's a lot more than just these expenses. This case could easily take up a Royal Commission and probably the Fraud Squad, the AFP, ASIC, every regulatory body known to the government would probably have an angle looking at these guys. And look at the current Royal Commissions. Veteran suicide, yeah, that's pretty important. The other ones are a bit of like violence, abuse, neglect, and exploitation of people with disability. I mean, you know, you could have a departmental inquiry, and I mean a Royal Commission. You can get a Royal Commission for that. You can't get a Royal Commission for Aspen Medical, and multiply that by 1,000, maybe more, for the rest of the COVID, especially the RBA. What was Philip Lowe doing, typing 400 billion into the accounts of the banks? And this inquiry, Albo's going to hold. It's just going to, the final report's going to be meaningless and it's not going to touch on anything. I need to look at that Canadian people's inquiry that they've got going into COVID. We need to organise something like that. All right, that's it for this one.